Check in, check. For the purpose of introducing our evening after-dinner speaker, I welcome to the podium Mr. Brandon Flower.
You guys can have a seat. Thank you. Gentlemen, it is an immense privilege and honor for me tonight to introduce to you really a man who doesn't need much of an introduction. I venture that almost every single one of you, if not all of you, know this man and you know his voice. You've grown up with him if you're a Mountaineer sports fan. He's probably made the calls on the biggest, most important Mountaineer games and victories that have occurred in your lifetime, definitely in my lifetime. I'm talking about none other than the voice of the Mountaineers, Mr. Tony Caridi. Tony came to West Virginia in 1984 after growing up in New York and attending Syracuse University for journalism. Came to Morgantown to work at a radio station, ultimately moving on to Metro News, and then getting into the broadcasting with the Mountaineer Sports Network and the Mountaineer sports programs, particularly the football team and the basketball team. 1987, he began calling games, and then in 1996, he transitioned to probably take the unenviable task of trying to replace a true legend in sports broadcasting, the voice of the Mountaineers at the time, as well as Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Jack Fleming. But since 1996, Tony has been the quintessential voice of the Mountaineers. With his trademark phrases and calls that you all know. He's called the 2005 Sugar Bowl, 2008 Fiesta Bowl, 2012 Orange Bowl, 2010 Final Four run, and Big East tournament run for basketball teams, as well as other NCAA runs, significant huge bowl games. And he's been the voice of the Mountaineers throughout my career and life. The one thing that I think is really interesting, you guys are probably wondering, oh, we're going to hear from someone who's in sports broadcasting. Yes, you are. It's changed the pace a little bit from the kind of people that you've heard speak to you all week and that you'll hear the rest of the week. Politicians, government people. But Tony is not just a sports broadcaster, he's a leader. And that's what he's going to talk to you about tonight, are some of the keys in his thoughts on leadership. He is a true leader in his industry in West Virginia at WVU. And without any further ado, I want to bring up to this podium, and I want to hear a rousing Mountaineer welcome for Mr. Tony Caridi.
The old joke was like this: Brandon, I could listen to you talk all night. For a while there, I thought I was going to have to. Now, here we go.
I'm going to turn.
It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be back. I do look forward to this as much as I possibly can to be with you guys. I congratulate each and every one of you for being here in this year's class. This is special. Whether you realize that or not, you probably will as time goes on. And we were talking before we came into the building about Jerry West having been to Boise State, and when you do the math on that, he was here in 1955. So 45, and then another 25 makes Jerry West was here 70 years ago. So you guys are the next piece of the tradition that goes along with Boise State. So I congratulate you all. I can thank as well all the staff members that volunteered their week to be with you guys. The easy thing to do would be, no, I don't have any time to do that. For all of you volunteers, thank you guys very, very much. We certainly do appreciate that. I've got 10 minutes to talk. I won't go longer than that. I do want to hit on 5 points with you. In the frame of this, the frame... We're going to do it. That 1, 2. I was going to hold both of them and do it stereo. So, I thought, okay, if I were you, what would I want to hear? If I was a person that was probably going to be in my senior year of high school, what would I want to know in advance, and maybe I could move away from a few different steps as you go along your life's journey. So I just want to hit on several different points with you all. Firstly, as you guys go through the process this week, we're going to be in situations where we've got negotiations and we've got compromises and we've got bills and we have all those things that are going to be run. And in our real world outside of Jacksonville, what's going on in our real world right now might not be the best example of how you conduct business, both from a political standpoint and from a day-to-day standpoint. Message number 1 is bullies over the long haul don't work when you're put into these environments. Teamwork, people that can compromise, to listen to one another, to come to some form of a negotiated settlement where both sides can win, that's a good thing. And over the test of time, that's what actually does work. So perhaps what was going on and what is going on right now might not be the best indicator for you to see of how to operate. So when you come together this week and you have your discussions, less bully, and in your everyday life, bully doesn't work over the long run. Teams work. Teams that work together. I've had the fortune, as Brandon alluded to now have gone through 41 seasons with the Mountaineers. I've seen really good Mountaineer teams. I've seen really bad Mountaineer teams. I've seen Mountaineer teams that struggle to win. I've had a 3-8 football season. I've had a 8-20 basketball season. And I've also had football teams that went undefeated and basketball teams that have won 30 or more games and have played for the Final Four. And what is the difference between those teams? Ultimately, if you talk to the players and to the coaches that are on those teams, it is this invisible characteristic that takes over, in which people give away from their own individual goal and they do whatever it takes for the team's success. And that analogy holds true not only in sport, but in everyday life. If you can get away from yourself and come to an agreement as to what the objective is and work together, it operates so much more smoothly. Second point, your background, whatever it might be, should not be an hindrance to you as you go forward in life. And by that, I mean this. I don't care what your dad did, what your mom did, who your grandparents were, that has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on what it is that you can become. You can't use that as an excuse. Well, I had this, or well, I had that. And I'm a living testimony to that. I earned my living speaking English. My father barely spoke English. He came to this country in 1957. He was 32 years old and didn't speak a single word of English. And as he went on and stayed here in the United States and became a citizen of the United States, he always spoke broken English. He wasn't a sports guy at all. He didn't know whether to kick it, to hit it, to bounce it, what to do with it, because he was born in an entirely different era. He was born in the Depression. He lived through World War II. He saw it first and foremost from the other side. From the other side. And yet, he gave me the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. So whatever your background is, it doesn't matter. You have the distinction of being able to map your own trail and your own path. That is on you. Here's something else. As we move ahead in our world and AI is taking over, and everything has become just a little bit easier. You can write that term paper a little bit easier than you used to be able to. And you can ask ChatGPT or whatever service you want to use or whatever agent you want to use to do that work. That makes things easier. That's all good. That's all good. But here's the bottom line. At the end of the day, regardless of how AI transcends and moves forward, real work will still matter. Work works. And in my view, people that work ultimately have the most success. People that try to go soft and get away and be circuitous and try to get away from doing the hard stuff, eventually they go by the wayside. And the people that just work and have a goal, that's ultimately what works, regardless of what our technology does. You can use AI, you can absolutely wrap your arms around it. I think it's the biggest thing that all of us are seeing in our life since the invention and the creation of the internet. That's how big this is going to be. This is the next big one. Wrap your arms around it, learn it, but put yourself to work, because work works. No matter what it is that you're doing, work works. Never forget that. When you're your age, you're wondering, what is it should I do? How do I determine what is it that I should do? What should I study? What is my thing? I sincerely and truly believe that we all have individual talents and skills in a particular field that are just screaming at us to grab a hold of in the process. No matter who you are, you've got something that you can do, and do it at a really high level. Okay, so how do you identify that? What is it that you do that other people come to you and say, how do you do that like that? Or what is it that you do that you love doing so much that you would do it for free? Video games not included. Although I have seen people make money through video games. But for me, it was speaking. But that doesn't mean that I spoke and I speak then like I speak now. Once you identify what it is that you have a special gift in doing, that's when the fun begins. That's when you, let's just say that for an example, this is an easy example. If you identify yourself as someone that can play a musical instrument at a very high level, well, that's good. But the greatest of the greats, they didn't stop there once it was identified. What do? They master that system. They become elite at it. Who has the most success in life are the people that specialize in a particular field and become elite at it. So what is that thing in your world that you do well? Whether it's writing, whether it's some form of math, whether it's engineering, whether it is, doing anything from construction on. Hey, you can do that. I can't do that. I can't build that. There's your signal. Grab it, wrap your arms around it, and instead of working for a living, you can have a fun occupation for a living. Follow me on that? It's there inside of you. Wrap your arms around it and become masterful at it. Lastly, the Mountaineers. So, we got a lot going on at the World of WVU. For the first time in decades, we have a new football coach and a new men's basketball coach in the very same year. College sports are changing literally by the day. And the first of this coming July, amateur sports, which college sports have been based on forever, goes away. And pay for play begins July 1, where schools now will literally pay student athletes to play for them. So you guys are living through something that has never happened before. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, if a scholarship football player was given a bagel for a breakfast treat in the morning, the school could not put cream cheese on it because that was an NCAA secondary violation. And today, we have some players who are making more money, easily making more money than assistant coaches. The average quarterback in the Big 12 that's a starter this year will make over $1 million a year. Don Nealon, who was our football coach, the winningest coach in school history, who led us to the national championship, 2 undefeated seasons, after 21 years in West Virginia, made $250,000 a year. And now we've got quarterbacks that are making $1 million. We've got basketball players that have made over $1 million already in West Virginia, and guys that make $700,000 and $800,000 a year. So the whole college sports world is upside down. However, the one thing is, I think we'll find a new normal. This weirdness and newness will kind of wear off, and we'll still be able to follow the teams that we love. All right, before I check out with you guys, one thing that I do when I come here is this. I need from you 3 names. Who wants to be the quarterback? Give me a name.
Bobby!
Who?
Bobby!
Bobby who?
Bob from Marion County.
What's his last name?
What's his last name, guys? Bob Smith.
Bobby Smith?
Bob Smith.
Bob Snip? I need a wide receiver. Give me a wide receiver. Oh, no. Who? Taylor who? No, somebody in this room. My guy. Say it. Arvaria Emba? Avara Emba. All right. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? I got Bob Smith and Avari Emma. You ready? All right, so first thing here. Let's go side, Mountaineer side. Let's go side, Mountaineer side. Get ready.
Let's go, Mountaineers! Let's go, Mountaineers! Let's go, Mountaineers!
And here we go. Final play of the day. West Virginia's trailing by just 6 points. It's 3rd down and almost 20 yards to go. And the clock is winding down. And up to the line of scrimmage, here comes Bob Snip. He's got 2 receivers over on the right side, a pair of receivers over on the left, a single running back. All pressure is on. And here's the snap. Final play of the game. Snip winding back, looking, running out of the pocket, looking downfield. There he is. Avarema, downfield, pass caught, touchdown! Be a Mountaineer wherever you may be. All right, guys, thank you all very much.
Okay, so we have a busy evening this evening. First and foremost, up for dismissal, the Mountaineer Voice State Band. You are dismissed to the